The following program is sponsored by Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Hold the mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Good day, happy Tuesday, happy post-Labor Day weekend, and welcome to another rejuvenated, refreshed edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, streaming live on all kinds of networks, SoFla Live networks on Facebook and YouTube, along with the later on audio-only replay on the Oldies South Florida radio networks from 8 to 9 p.m. all across the FM dial, all up and down the South Florida coastline. Welcome back after a long holiday weekend. Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz. How are you, gentlemen?
Couldn't be better. Very nice weekend. Didn't really do too much, although it did involve some gambling, drinking, and of course the beach, and some music as well. But yeah, doing great. I couldn't be happier. Summer's gone, Mike Mayo. That's it. Put away the ceviche and the salads.
Have you been
Right,
outside?
Unofficially.
the gazpacho, we're ready to dive into food full force here now that it's fall.
Unofficially, summer is over. The calendar says, however, that fall doesn't truly begin until, when is it? September 21st? September 22nd is the
January.
autumnal equinox?
Try not to mention the 21st. That's the day we got fired last year from
Oh,
our gig at Fox Radio. Beaten out by Brady Quinn for a
when
job.
the Turk
Unbelievable.
comes and taps on your shoulder and says, "Give us your playbook. You've been beaten out by Brady Quinn."
Yeah.
That's when you start looking for the short pier. But no, you guys
question your entire existence and your entire being
100%.
comes into
This
question.
is what I love about you guys. I mean, you're resilient, and it's the radio business.
Definitely.
We've gone through our own, tumult and ups and downs at the radio stations in terms of ownership changes and format changes. That's all part of the job, right? And you just kind of after a while.
What did I tell you, Mike
roll
Mayo,
off
when I
your
met
back.
you and you were asking about some kind of expansion of the
Lose
show?
my
and-
number. Is that what you
No,
told me?
well, I mean, that was probably the thing I should have told you. But no, I told you that you said, well, why don't you go talk to management? I said, it's useless. They're stupid. They're stupid. And you didn't
Right, 'cause
believe
I
me
wanted to
until,
start my
until you
own-
found out on your own. I mean, it took you like a small time, I mean, less than a year to get coned by a radio station. And, see, I mean, in this case, at least they were very nice about it. And it worked out okay, but in that case, it was ugly. I have to say,
See,
very
that's
ugly.
the difference, I guess, between radio world where you guys come from and newspaper journalism world where I resided for a long time. I guess in radio world, it's like you don't even bother with like trying to bring a good idea or maybe launch a new show on the weekend that would involve
you
food and
try,
sports and
but
and
you
and-
learn quickly. You learn really quickly.
like they just brush you off. They don't even give you a hearing. At newspapers, you
In
go
fact,
in,
they dislike you. It's negative.
Can you
Yeah. They say, DeForest brought up a good idea. Lubitz came in here. He had his own ideas. What is this guy thinking, man? Is he running the show now? Like, you might have suggested, hey, we expand our football coverage or whatever, and they immediately dismiss it. And then it really does. It counts against you. It's one step closer to the door. Anytime you bring up
newspapers,
something
it
good.
was you have to have a meeting and run it up the flagpole, and then editorial
too,
was separate
yeah.
from marketing, was separate from advertising, and to get all three together, you got to schedule three different kinds of sets of meetings, and then somebody has a lunch, and then next thing you know, it's time to do more layoffs, and everything is forgotten.
That's why they
So-
went out of business before radio, essentially.
No, they're still printing. No, we'd love our friends at
Yeah,
the
but I
Sunset.
mean,
Oh,
it's,
we're
you know,
streaming with them.
I have ink on my fingers from the Post, but
No,
let's face it.
I bleed black ink and also red ink now, and especially after the weekend at the track. Hey, I saw that Lubie was great. We'll talk a little sports before we get into the food, and obviously the big key question is, how am I doing on my fitness quest?
Yes.
And I'm in
Yes.
the middle.
You
of
look
now
good. I gotta say, you
trying
look good.
to-
Did you
Oh,
change the
thank you.
filter on that camera or something? Or no?
Listen, I got a little stubble. I didn't shave today. I've
You
been
look
very,
nice,
very
Michael.
hectic. You'd be very proud, even though I had a very hectic morning with Dickstein and Best of Delray Beach, and we're getting ready to launch our phase 2 and all kinds of new content. We're having another big party in Delray, gentlemen.
Oh,
You
yeah?
guys are invited.
On
It's
a
going to
Tuesday,
be.
Did that place
Tuesday.
go out of business that we were at before? Did they go out of business?
Let's not mention that, but yeah.
Oh, no, they
they've
did?
been-
Really? They
They
got out,
did.
huh? I think they're done. As great as it
Mayo
was.
Beach House. That I guess they just kind of misjudged the first summer season. Again, newcomers that you got to be capitalized for a full year, and you got to remember that when you're in Florida, if you're going to be running a restaurant business, that the summertime is typically the slowest time, and if you can't weather that, then you're not going to be able to stay open. And last year was weird because everybody in the world was coming to Florida because it was the only place that was fully open. So there was no off season last year, and I guess that might have given some businesses a diluted sense of things. This year it's back to normal because people started traveling other places again, and people started leaving Florida in droves and going to Europe and going up northeast and going to cooler climes, and that impacted the restaurants, some of them more than others. And unfortunately, I don't want to say that there's any kind of jinx involved, but it's that place, the location where we held that party.
Location was beautiful.
It's
Wow.
beautiful, but it's been like 5 or 6
Wow.
different things through the years. It's one of those places that
A
because
little
even
hard
though-
to find. A little bit hard to find.
yeah, it's
Not bad.
located off of Atlantic Avenue, even though it has an Atlantic Avenue address, and you got to go back behind a side street. And apparently, parking is actually, even though the parking lot seemed pretty wide open, apparently it gets jammed up pretty quickly. And and even though it's on the Intracoastal and it's a beautiful, lovely setting at sunset, apparently when that sun beats down on you in the middle of the summer, it's not as popular being outside there and having that western view.
Plus,
for
nobody
sunset.
would want to go there and sit anywhere near that neighbor of Dickstein's. If that's the
Now,
caliber of the clientele, then
Now,
who would
now.
want to go there to have a good time?
Most
where
people in
everybody's
Delray
out? Yeah.
Beach are fine and pleasant people because I've met a lot of good people working in Delray Beach over the last year. I'm trying to salvage things and digging out things. No, but this next party is going to be really good because it's happening at Bar 25, which is a new place, kind of like a tapas style bar Italian restaurant. Again, the chef that came over from Cafe Morano. And he's a good dude, and he it has a different menu of have like flatbread pizzas, and they had that cheesesteak that was really good. That Dick Steen and Joe Cassell, we had a nice little gathering at one point, a business meeting. But Bar 25, I guess it's on Tuesday, September 20th, and we're going to be doing it from 5 to 7. There's going to be some, a little free complimentary cocktail, and then also you can have some nice hors d'oeuvres are going to be set out there, and it's basically a celebration of the official end of summer, the beginning of fall. Not that you can tell the difference here in South Florida, right? But and also the launch of some of these new categories, and we're going to get the app again. Fall is a time people are serious, back to school. I know you hated that, Defo, because
I hated every second of it until I got to college. Then I loved every second of it. It was a
we're
complete
getting
metamorphosis.
serious.
Yeah.
And I'm getting serious about reforming my evil ways. I got to tell you, Sandwich Month, it was a lot of fun. But, now my body is realizing like it. I think
it took a toll. No doubt.
No. Well, it took a toll. I felt good at the end of the month to be able to say I surpassed. I climbed the Mount Everest of sandwiches, I guess, and eating over 50 sandwiches in a month. But
there has to be a more noble ambition, though, and maybe you could go out and hit more home runs than Aaron Judge or something. But they get some kind of thing that really would be designated only for somebody that was a complete slob.
I was feeling.
I don't know how proud you could be of that. I mean, and it goes against the refinement that is required to be a top-notch,
Food critic, yeah.
I was shoveling food in my mouth. I lost all manners. I lost self-respect. I was
very
puffy.
self-indulgent. You were during that period.
I was puffy. I had all kinds of aches and inflammation at the end, and then I realized I have blood work coming tomorrow, so I'm doomed because like my doctor's appointment is the 22nd. But
get somebody else's blood. See if you can go arrange to.
Get Tiger Woods
somebody to donate a pint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Use
so
that.
I guess I have to. Well, first of all, it feels like I haven't gotten on the scale since Saturday, but I know you guys are in
Feel
trouble.
better? You look better.
Because I did my 3.5-mile walk this morning.
Good.
Thank you, Defo. I also have to thank Dick Steen. You thought he was going to be the downfall of me.
Yeah.
The Antichrist of diets.
Well, I was up in Delray over on Friday night. A cousin of mine just moved to town, an older cousin. And she said, "Oh, why don't we go out?" And I showed her around. We drove up and down Atlantic Avenue, and then we stopped in a couple of places. And again, this was after I saw you guys at the Paramutual facility, and I said I wasn't going to be drinking at all these 3. I mean these 3 weeks, and that went right out the window because I had 2 cocktails at the bar with you guys. then I waited a while and then had a couple of waters and then went up to Delray Beach and I met my cousin for happy hour at this place called the Falcon. And that was very nice. And then we went to another place to have a little bit more of a bite to eat and another cocktail. I ended up having 4 cocktails and going to 2 restaurants. And I thought, I'm doomed. This
Not
whole thing is a
atypical.
shirt. Yeah.
With your new sense of commitment on top of that. I mean, I really think about it for a second there. It wasn't more than a few hours prior that you
Exactly
declared at
right.
the racetrack that, you know what, that whole thing is over. And, you know, Dick
Oh
Steen,
my
he can
God, that was
No,
stick
but
it where the sun doesn't shine.
here's what happened. I had a couple of nice dishes, but one of them was like a shrimp. They called it a shrimp ceviche. It was more like a shrimp salad because it had some mayonnaise in it. Much would have really bothered Lubie, but also had a very good this chicken adobo. It was like a Filipino dish that the chef is now working at Third and Third or overseeing the menu. A very talented chef named Emerson Frisbee, but it was like it was Filipino week. He created some Filipino dishes, including that chicken adobo, which I brought to the track one time.
That was
It's like
good.
a stewed
Real
ground
good.
chicken,
Yeah.
and it had some like stir fried vegetables. It was delicious, and it was also kind of low carb, except for the rice that I put aside. And and I texted Dickstein that I was in town, that I was in Delray, and he stayed away because he knew he would have corrupted me.
No,
Oh, he
That
would have
was
run over a
good.
pizza or something. I
He
mean.
would have brought over 3 pizzas and 2 burgers. So that was good. He did me a solid, and
Nice.
then it was an early night. I drove my cousin back to her new apartment. I picked up my daughter from her college football, from her high school football game where she's a cheerleader, and her school is looking good. They're top notch quality heritage this year.
Very
But then I got on the
How's their
scale.
recruiting going? I hear this guy out
Great.
recruited Nick
There was
Saban.
Thomas. No,
this year,
Harry.
yeah.
Yeah,
And they
Heritage.
have
I
a
did-
coach because Sarah Sertan's with the Dolphins now, so I don't know who
Yeah.
they're.
right.
I don't know who
They
they're.
have
have
the
a new
proverbial
coach.
kicker from Latvia that they brought in. Just
Yeah,
happened to
they
have a
have-
cousin that lived in
they're-
Pembroke Pines. Yeah, that's nice.
They're loaded for bear. They have like I guess 3 of them are already committed to go to Ohio State.
Yeah,
And
what
they
do you
look
call
like
There you
Brandon
go.
Innes was the top 10 player in the country as a receiver.
yeah. I mean, it's receivers. They're just rolling over the competition. But
Do any
anyway,
of these kids live in the area? I mean, do you know if any of them are actually eligible to go?
Generally,
what do you want
Oh,
me
it's
to
a
go back
private
to
school. Yeah.
my news writing days, like when you had to hunt down where the candidates were really living, and were they living in their district when they're running for state senate or state house and all that stuff. I
St.
don't
Thomas,
know.
the track
I don't-
team, had 2 guys from Kenya that happened to be living with an uncle who somehow had
exchange
just moved into
programs.
the neighborhood and was like 1 foot inside the district. I mean, it's
No,
incredible
St.
what
Thomas
goes on.
is a Catholic school. They can go again, and the Heritage is a private school. They can come from anywhere. I don't know what the rules are, and
Yeah.
I don't ask. I don't care anymore. Just let my daughter go in peace. Okay. Getting back to me and the scale, I get on the scale on Saturday morning, and again, I'm not going to weigh myself every day. And again, the starting number was 238 pounds. I'm trying to get down to, I think the final number was 226.
226 and a hook will work.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I get to 226, I win something. I don't know what. But
We'll
I've
take
been
care of it.
faithfully
No,
walking,
a nice meal
And-
that's health conscious.
and I've been avoiding my bad carbs. I've been eating my fruits and vegetables. But when I got on the scale on Saturday morning, after 2 days of actually not really being good, the first day I lost 1 pound, and on Saturday when I was expecting to face consequences of drinking and eating at 2 different restaurants, the scale said 236.1. So I was down 2 pounds in 2 days, and I
Oh,
realized
get out of here, man. This bet's off.
no,
That scale has to be calibrated by Don King. It really does. I mean,
It's
you
a
have to be
good
kidding.
scale. I'm gonna let you bring
You
a
could
scale
not have
of your
lost 2
choosing.
pounds. I mean, Steve Garvey was recommending this stuff. He went to prison, Mayo, for this, or was it going to? I mean, I guess because he was Garvey, he got off, but they fined him a lot of money because he was recommending this stuff that you drink a milkshake before you go to bed, and you would wake up in the morning 2 pounds lighter. Not possible, inconceivable.
If you sleep for
the
48
idea that-
hours,
Well,
if you
no,
just
I mean,
sleep for
you
48
can't eat
hours, you will
2
lose weight.
meals at night and then go to bed after 15 drinks and expect to wake up in the morning and be lighter.
Well,
Unless you
here's-
had some, lengthy movement. We're not talking Beethoven's Fifth there, my friend.
Unless you're doing work.
No, here. This is what I realized, that just simply by not consuming 4 to 5 sandwiches every day,
Oh, that could help. Yeah.
I'm going to just start losing weight, because when my caloric intake, and I was walking the last 5 weeks, I started this walking regimen during this whole, health scare, health kick, whatever. And then, I was consuming probably 3,000 calories a day with all these sandwiches and the Michigas.
You and
Now-
Schwarzenegger were in a
now,
battle
you know,
to see who could
I've
eat more.
basically have cut my caloric intake in half. I'm going down to 1,500 calories a day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing
That's
my
good, man.
exercise.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know, does my face look a little bit better?
You do. You look better. Yeah, you do. But you don't have the light on. I mean, you turned off one of the lights there. So we're only getting really a silhouette of Mayo on the show if you're watching on Let's Eat South Florida, which, by the way, congratulations, Michael.
Yes.
88,000?
88.
Mile
Ain't
marker
that great?
88, man. Have you eaten at Mile Marker 88 or whatever? Marker 88 restaurant?
Long time ago.
What'd you
long
think
time
of that
ago.
joint,
I
man?
liked
An
it. It
old
was where
classic, yeah.
it was where the Bushes would hang out back when the first George Bush was
The
president.
Bushes on the highway? Oh, you mean the president?
Yeah,
Bushes,
the President George W. Bush. Back when Republicans were, evil but still sane. No, did I say?
Yeah.
I didn't want to get into politics. They weren't evil. The
It's
Bushes
okay.
are.
You made a
they're
statement.
they're
It's
fine.
gone.
Well, just because they want to, punish the poor and give all the tax breaks to the rich,
See,
and
you
and
got
here I am
started.
getting political.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
By the
But
way, would you agree with this? We had a discussion with one of your former contemporaries, Jason Cole, this morning. But would you agree that Joe Biden is the Joe Philbin of presidents?
I don't know what that means, but Donald Trump was the I don't know, the
No, you're just
the-
looking at a guy and you're saying, "How is this guy in charge?"
he's doing a
Regardless
good
of,
job.
I'm okay with it. Look,
can't speak the-
anything was
the-
better than the alternative, but he is kind of weird. I mean, he looks like he's ready to, to pass out at any time, just like Joe Philbin did at those post-game press conferences when he was. And the word was nice guy, well-intentioned, but unfortunately not really equipped to, do a
I
job
don't want to
this
get into
magnitude.
a whole thing. Look, anybody can have whatever opinions they want about Biden and whether he should run again or not. Well, all I know is that considering the alternatives right now, there are no alternatives, so we're all doomed. So, you got
Was
me
that a
tongue-tied.
Rubio bumper sticker I saw in your car?
No, God.
All right, don't get into it, Michael. Stay on the course. So
Stay
you
on the-
lost weight
you were
while,
trying to
while
get-
still eating pretty.
That was the first 2
significantly.
days, and I haven't been on the scale since I saw the 236.1 on Saturday.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
okay.
do my next weigh-in until
Well, bring it out.
next. I'm going to do it on Friday morning before the
On the show.
before the Gambling Gourmet segment on the Defo show. So
Okay.
we'll know where things stand after basically week 1.
So that was it. You didn't do any more outside.
No,
dining
and
during
then
the
it was an
entire
incredible weekend because I actually, for the first time in recent memory, like I did not set foot in a restaurant like from Friday night on. Like I went to the 2 restaurants on Friday night, but then Saturday I had a function. It was a Sweet 16, and it was actually a Latina girl who is my daughter's best friend. But they held the affair, the Sweet 16 party, at the best possible place for a person that's dieting like me, which is a kosher catering hall. And we not to denigrate the kosher cooking, but
this was a Sweet 16 or a bar mitzvah?
it was a
what are you
Sweet
talking about?
16.
She's a very
So it
Catholic
wasn't a
Latin girl.
quinceañera. It wasn't.
It wasn't a quin. So basically, what happened was they
Quinceañera.
wanted to hold a quinceañera for her 15th birthday,
But
but
it got
because
bumped
of COVID, it got it basically got scrubbed. So instead, the family said, "We're gonna throw you a big Sweet 16 party," which they did. So it was a combo kind of quinceañera.
So how did they end
and-
up at Leonard's of Great Neck or whatever?
No, it was actually they call it the Eden something in Hollywood Hills. It's right next to the
But that's a
shul.
kosher place.
Yeah, it's a kosher hall, and so there was no
there was
roasted
nothing to eat,
pig.
is what you're going to say.
No, well, there was little pigs in blanket, which were somehow overcooked. Like somehow the Jews, they managed to murder everything. It's like you
Oh,
give them,
yeah.
and again, I'm Jewish. Defoe's Jewish. I think
I'm
Lubis is
Jewish.
Jewish.
I'm
We're all
Jewish.
Jewish. We're 3
Yeah.
Jews, and I'm the
We're
first to
known as
say
the
that.
3 live Jews.
The cooking's horrendous. I'm sorry. My brother-in-law, his whole family is kosher, and every time we're going to one of their events, it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
like because
And
they
it-
want the in-laws.
You bring a little lunch bag with you. Mike
I just
Mayo's
want to eat a
lunchbox.
lot to do.
Yeah.
it. Just-
It,
I-
it pains me because kosher meat is good meat, and then you have the kosher chicken. But I don't know where it was or if it's written somewhere, but I think some of the kosher cooks, they just say you have to cook something until all the life and blood
Yes.
is out
Oh
of it.
yeah.
100%.
So, and my wife, my wife,
Boiled
ex-wife,
chicken.
Michelle,
Boiled chicken. Boiled.
both
yeah, they boil it.
both me and Michelle were invited to this affair because we're good friends with the girl and her family, and Michelle actually filled out the cards about do you want meat or fish was the options. I didn't know this. I would have gone for fish.
Was it whitefish?
Yeah, what kind of fish?
No, it
did
was
you
salmon. And this is the irony. Like,
It's always
Michelle filled out for both of us meat because she says whenever you go to an affair, you always get the meat because you always know the fish isn't fresh and they
If it's
overcook it
kosher.
and it's terrible. But the thing was, here was the irony. We come out, they bring us our meat platters. It was these 3 strips of tenderloin. It was more like beef jerky. It was so, it was past the point of hammered. It was like 3 strips. I could only eat 1.5 of them. It was
Oh, good.
literally, it was, you couldn't cut it. So this was perfect for my
Yeah.
dieting. Not perfect was the open bar. I ended up having 3 vodkas, but but then these beautiful plates, like the salmon was perfect. It was like broiled salmon, succulent.
Wow.
It was actually it was like done to medium rare medium, which is the way I love it. And I'm just looking at Michelle like saying, what were you thinking? She goes,
Well, it's kind of like, where you bet a game like that FSU game where you might have been right about everything if you liked FSU, and you still could have easily lost at the end because of bozoic stuff and the Red Sea defense, where, I mean, she went with logic. The logic would dictate that stay away from the fish.
Well, did she know going in that it was at Eden's?
no, she did not know. She didn't
And
realize
you
it was a
always go
kosher
meat.
catering hall.
Always go
And
meat
that-
unless it's kosher, and then you stay away from the meat because they overcook the crap out of it.
Right. It was unbelievable. I felt bad for the cow to have to
A little
give his life.
stuffed flounder you might have felt safe with. I don't know about the salmon.
No, but the salmon was beautiful.
didn't
I mean,
say
it came
that.
out these big succulent pieces, and when they were cutting into it, I could tell some people thought it was undercooked. I was like, I was just drooling with.
He's envious of salmon.
So did you go
Lust and
around and pick
envy.
some off the
No,
plates where they put a
because
plate down and
I'm-
the guy never came back because he didn't want
Because
the
I'm
food?
in my new, what is it called? Austerity measures. Austerity.
Turn over a
mode.
new leaf. That's what
I'm
it
just, again, a little drinking, a lot of gambling, forget the food. And just to wrap up the weekend, I got to give Dickstein more props because, so yesterday I do my walk of life. I did a long one. I think I went about 5 miles
is.
yesterday.
Wow.
And it was broiling. I got a late start.
Steaming out there, yeah.
And I get back and I guess I was channeling you, Defo, because I was like, all I want now is to jump in my pool and suck down a really cold beer. I had these Peronis in the fridge that are just
Nice.
laughing, staring me in the face because I bought them BOGO at Publix in honor
Little
of Joe
taste of
Paseo.
Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a very light beer. I bet there's hardly any calories or carbs in that. But again, I was gonna go into the pool with a beer, but Dickstein had to call me about something, and I said, Dickstein, I'm about to just jump in the pool. I can't wait to suck down a beer. He goes, no, you're gonna just drink water. You need to stay on the yeah.
Motivated you.
Don't let him Svengali you. You already have Sarni in your ear.
He is now my better angel. We thought Dickstein was the devil.
There's
and
nothing
he's-
wrong. The way that you had to work up a lather, man, going 5 miles in that heat yesterday. Even I cut down in distance to 3. Said, you know what? I've been going, doing a good thing. I'm just going to do a quick sprint here. It takes me about an hour to do the 3 miles. But, the pleasure was, of course, pouring that ice cold Budweiser into a glass that's been in the freezer. And
I
there's
was-
no better combination.
I was so looking for. I was just going to jump in and just suck down that beer. And Dickstein said, "Don't do it, Mayo," and he was right. You know who brought me down yesterday? Of all people,
Your
it was
daughter.
Barzini all along. My daughter.
Yeah.
She calls me and I was good. I had after
You didn't go
this-
to Jackson's because I saw a picture of 2 people at Jackson's with an ice cream in front of them. One was like a kitchen sink, and the other thing was a chocolate sundae, the size of the sun. And wow, I mean, if you're in there, that is dangerous.
That's dangerous. Dangerous.
I know you did the
territory.
Lunchbox from Jackson's. Fortunately, I wasn't there because I do have a sweet tooth. But my God, I mean that's outrageous. The portions that they have there. There's a place called Jan's in New York. You remember that?
Yeah, Jan's
That was
Ice
a
Cream
big place
Parlor
to
on
go.
Nostrand Avenue. I used to go there.
That
all
was
the
the
time
big
for
big
birthdays.
spot.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to go there, and it was like a double special treat if you went to Jan's.
Yeah.
And what was it? The banana boat and the kitchen sink. Were the
I
two
think
big
they also
things.
had a kitchen sink, and I
Yeah.
guess
And it was
Monroe
one of those things
Udell-
where you had to be like the size of Kim Bocamper as a player to even consider ordering one.
no,
Because
or a
like
big
6
group.
people could have chowed down on one, but they put your name up on the wall there. I think I think you got a picture with Jan himself if you finish the whole thing, the kitchen sink.
No, I used to go there as a kid on Nostrand Avenue, and then down here, Jackson's also has kitchen sinks.
Right up
So
there.
yeah, after my very good walk and my nice refreshing plunge, I have a nice fruit salad with my yogurt and granola, about 220 calorie lunch with yogurt. And I was getting ready. I had to do a bunch of work with Dickstein yesterday for the app, and then I was going to play a poker tournament last night at the Hard Rock, which I did. But in between, right about 3 o'clock, my daughter says, "Hey, Dad, Are you doing anything? I was like, no, I got to do some shopping and errands. He goes, you want to come with me? Sure. So we get in the car, we do some grocery shopping, we pick up some fruit and stuff for the week. I'm good. And then she goes, I feel like ice cream.
Oh
And I
my
was like, oh God.
You
I
should have
was
said
like,
you don't look like ice cream, and just told her to lose your number.
and how do you say no to your daughter who wants to
Oh,
go for a
Jan,
little bit?
I knew it. You
So
ended
we
up
didn't
there
go
at
to
Jackson.
Jackson's because she works there and she feels all self-conscious about
But
going
you have
there.
like
Plus,
8 other places now. On
and
the list.
then I was like, well, there's a Haagen-Dazs at Dania Point, but she doesn't want to go to a chain. Well, she does. She did want to go to a chain. There's a Carvel that's on Sterling Road, and we took a drive out to the Carvel, and they had this new thing. It's called the Dasher. It's kind of like you layer in different, toppings and things with the ice cream. She had one of those. Which was like 800 calories, but who's counting? And I ended up getting a small hot fudge sundae, which was
Oh, man.
620 calories.
620 on one little thing.
But I
Unbelievable.
just called that lunch. Okay?
You only had
So-
1,500 to work with for the day,
right.
according
But
to
again,
your
I
plan.
had the 220 for the thing, and then I
You
had
can't do
the-
this, Michael. You're killing us, man.
No, but it was 800, and then at night I had. You'd be proud of me at the poker tournament. I picked up a grilled chicken sandwich at the Hard Rock Cafe. I tossed the bun, I tossed the French fries,
Wow.
I wrapped it up
Wow.
in lettuce and tomato, and it was again an overcooked piece of chicken, but very tastily seasoned. And again, I had a chicken breast with lettuce and tomato wrap, and that was it. So I hit my number
The
yesterday.
people probably were laughing at you if you lost all your money on top of that. Saying, what a loser this guy
I
is.
almost
mean,
bubbled. They were paying 21. I got knocked out in 26. And you know who I was sitting next to at the end? I got moved to a table, and it was like he got moved.
Dixie.
Tim Ritvo. Tim Ritvo.
Tim Ritvo.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
very nice.
Used to be the former president
Yeah,
of
yeah. What's he doing? He's
Gulfstream
playing
and then
poker now?
Stronach. Yeah, he lives a couple of miles away, and he's a poker player. So he
Nice.
was still in the tournament. He probably cashed last night, which
Always was a good guy to me.
oh yeah, I always liked Tim Ritvo,
Yeah.
and his wife Kathy is still training. He says he got about 15 horses in the barn. I guess they still run at Gulfstream and other places, and yeah, so it was good to catch up with an old race tracker. And we were talking about the weekend, and that brings me. I know we got to take a break, but I see Andy is on the chat line, and did you see what happened with my hunch play of the weekend, gentlemen?
Which was?
Oh, what was
Slow
it?
down Andy in the Del Mar Derby.
Oh, yeah,
Did it
yeah.
hit? Did it
He
hit?
whistled. He whistled it at 6:20. Paid 15.20.
Ah,
And of
You
course, I
said
didn't have
you
a.
managed to lose money on a race.
Of
though.
course, I
Yeah.
didn't have a dime to win on him. I'm playing all these exactas and
Good thinking.
trifectas,
You
and a
missed.
42-1. The longest shot in the race runs second. It would have been a $300 and something $1 exacta if I just
3-letter
wheeled him.
word. All. ALL. $1 wheel either way.
But again, it was hitting us in the face, gentlemen. Slow down, Andy. He's been slowing down.
No,
and it
he's not.
came in.
That's an
no,
erroneous
he's not
report.
slowing down. That's his problem. He needs to slow
He's
down.
now dating Ariana Grande's friend's grandmother or
Mother's
something.
best friend.
Yeah. He's dating some 90-year-old woman, and he's having trouble
She's in
keeping
her
pace.
40s. She's in her
Well, all I know is that, like, of course, I feel like the biggest schmuck of all time because, like, I give out the horse. It's there. It's on the tape. We're going to play
And
it
you
this
lose.
weekend.
Of
And,
course.
it's the 2-hour mark of last Friday's morning Defo show. And again, I was wrong about Notre Dame. They did cover because just to horrify me, I thought Ohio State was going to roll them, and they just never got on track. They won, but
offensively.
they didn't look good.
And Andy
And-
also said they saw Josh Booty off 95 with a "Will work for food" sign after he buried everybody with his LSU can't lose pick. And
Well,
they ended
that-
up losing outright, which was one of the most outrageous finishes. I mean, you
That was a
covered lot of
wild
scores.
game.
Have
I
you
was
seen anything
following.
like that? I mean, that was nuts.
I was following it from the Sweet 16. All I was getting was the game cast updates without the actual video. And I saw it was stuck on 1 second forever. And I was like, what
Yes,
the heck
it
is
was.
going on? And then I saw the highlights. What a wild game. Congrats to the Knowles. Congrats to the Gators. Congrats to the Hurricanes. Is football back, college football back in Florida?
Let's not get carried away.
Yeah, we'll see.
Canes beat Bethune-Cookman. I mean, kind of the
Well,
equivalent of
hey.
hazing there to get involved in that. I mean, that's just cruel. And no, Florida State though has distinguished themselves so far because we laughed at Lubie about the Duquesne game that they won 47-7. This was legitimate. I mean, they did everything in their power to sabotage themselves and lose the game. which was horrible. I mean, for anybody that loved FSU in that game, I mean, they did everything right, and then nearly they could have easily
Almost
blown that
lost
game at the end.
Yeah, it was crazy, but they
Yeah.
win and they cover, so all the Knowles fans are happy. And again, an unexpected treat. A lot of people had that penciled as a loss or even a blowout loss. So
Yes.
again, that's why they play the games, and we got NFL football on tap this weekend and all kinds of good stuff. But before we get to the weekend, we got to get through the week. And after a long holiday weekend, if you're grilling or cooking or hanging out at home, treat yourself tonight. Go out to Tropical Acres Steakhouse
Yes.
Oh,
because
nice. Yeah.
I
Good
made
idea.
them steak. Well, again, I was sitting on the pool. I was on the floaty after my walk. I didn't put my sunscreen on. I passed out for like an hour, and now I look like one of those twin lobsters that they're serving at Tropical Acres
Very much
Steakhouse.
so. Yeah.
I am lobster red, but you can get the really much better lobsters there, Tropical Acres Steakhouse, because they're still running the twin lobster promotion. $35 gets you those two beautiful Maine pound to pound and a quarter lobsters, along with a salad and a side dish. That's going on for the next few weeks. Hurry up because time is running out. Summer is really over when lobster season at Tropical Acres is over, but it's going on every Monday through Friday, $35. Tropical Acres is at 2500 Griffin Road, just west of the airport and I-95 in Dania Beach and Old Fort Lauderdale. Go to tropicalacres.com to check up on all the latest specials and offerings, including from their butcher shop, which is open every day but Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Better yet, go into the dining room every day but Sunday. Opens at 4:30 p.m. with the early bird. Tonight, Monday and Tuesday, half-price wine night, and also happy hour in the bar from 4:30 to 6:30. Go into Tropical Acres. You get the best old-school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great food and service. Tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
Need to get involved with the Lunchbox research department. I believe something's going on at the Duck House, one of your favorites. I know you always make a face. You don't consider it really Chinese food. I thought it was always pretty good.
I didn't say it's not Chinese food. It's just
Remodeling,
you know
though, has been
I
going
haven't
on.
been in there.
Yeah.
It's like 25 years.
No,
I don't know if I've ever been in there.
most people like the place. I mean, if you found surveyed the 88,000 from Let's Eat South Florida, I think you'd find a positive, overall review. But nothing happened in there. There's no construction going on. They've been closed for remodeling now for like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Nothing. You don't see any workers there, so something's up with the fabled,
It's never a good sign.
iconic Peking Duck House. Yeah.
Never
All right,
a good sign.
Coming back with more on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. No Chinese food for you anyway, right? No more for you. You've been here 4 hours.
Some
Eat too
roasted
much.
pork. Just roasted pork. That's keto friendly. Yeah.
Back with more in a moment on the Lunchbox.
People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. And there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. From our friends at Visit Lauderdale and Lauder Deals, don't miss Dine Out Lauderdale during August and September in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Dozens of top restaurants are offering amazing 3- and 4-course meals starting at just $35. See all the Dine Out Lauderdale menus from more than 50 participating restaurants online at visitlauderdale.com/deals. More taste sensations are being added daily, so plan your culinary adventure to Greater Fort Lauderdale and get your taste of the good life for less. Dig in now at visitlauderdale.com/. And we're back on not a Monday edition. I keep saying it's Monday because it feels like a Monday, but it's Tuesday. It's a Tuesday edition of the Lunchbox. Means it's Costas, Greek Eatery and Pizzeria Tuesday. We're going to be there next week in person, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah? Oh, nice.
You know what I'm going to be having next week?
A salad.
Salad with a little of the chicken souvlaki on top of it.
This
Their
is
chicken
getting painful.
souvlaki, never overcooked, always
Yeah.
juicy, always very flavorful, and you get, feta cheese is keto friendly, has a little bit of fat, but again, the nice little salad. The real true Greek salad is just tomatoes and cucumbers, but there you could get a little bit of Americanized Greek salad with the lettuce. I'll be having it with the lettuce.
I can't help but think I liked you better, and I think the other people did the other way. I mean, you should sacrifice your life. It was almost like a human sacrifice. No, you made a great point earlier and said that, just the fact that you're not eating like 12 sandwiches a day probably is going to contribute to at least a minor weight loss. So you probably make this goal, but you were much better and much happier. To hear you talking about morsels of olives and shaving a tiny piece of celery.
I gotta admit, I was a little bit hangry and a little bit glum at the track on Friday.
You were down in the dumps, man. You didn't know you were going to eat 3 more meals, though. Why didn't you just celebrate the fact that you were never going to stick to this?
No. And again, I'm recalibrating my mindset. Look at me. I'm smiling today. I'm feeling rejuvenated. Again,
some new places, though. Did you see? I mean, some people are alluding to new places on Let's Eat South Florida. They look very, very tempting. A lot of them.
Yeah, a lot. I guess a couple of the hot thing now is these Argentinian or Brazilian chiascuras. Like the steak. Where they come and they slice the steak on the skewers.
Kind of a cool concept. Yeah. I kind of like those places.
There's 2 of these new Brazilian places. And again, they've been around for a long time. Chima has been downtown Fort Lauderdale for a long time.
You know what the number one rule of thumb when going there is to get your money's worth? Don't go to the salad bar.
Yeah, skip the salad bar. Just go right to the
salad bar
meats.
is brilliant in these places. Have you noticed that? I mean, it's really like
they'll fill you up on the cheap stuff. It's like going
grabbing a couple of rolls and this, that.
It's like
you don't get your money's worth though, because then you're full before the guy gets there with the steak.
Right.
And you're like going no mas.
Just say no to the bread. Don't go to the salad bar, all the potato salad, all that. Just go right to the main court. Just sit down with your little card and flip the green and red and just say, bring on the meats and get your high quality protein.
Hey, Pedro, over here with that. And whatever you got on the spear.
It's the same thing at that really good quality Sunday brunch buffet that they have at the Hard Rock. Now they hold it at the Kuro, the Japanese restaurant. It used to be at Council Oak, but again, don't go to that waffle bar or even the omelet station and they have all the breads and stuff. Like, no, you go right to that seafood bar where they have like
straight there
3 different they have like the Alaskan king crab legs and regular snow crab legs, and then they have like 3 different kinds of raw oysters. They have the shrimp, the jumbo shrimp. They have sushi. Like, go for the good stuff, and then they have like roast prime rib and lamb chop. I mean, just go for the high quality meats, and don't fill yourself up with all the carbs because then you get your money worth. But
what should the price be on these Brazilian steakhouses?
So I see there's one they're
up to like about $60. Is that right?
Well, I think there's one that opened up on Sunrise Boulevard called Lasso Gaucho. I guess it's near the Galleria Mall, and they're going for like $49 plus tax and tip. So when you add the tax and tip, you're talking about close to it's about $60, right? And
it's like 60 something.
Well, actually, no, I'm sorry, it should be over 60 because 50 plus the tax is another $350 plus you got to give them at least $12 a 10 12 well $65. Okay?
But I'm just talking about you go in there for the the general concept.
General concept is $49 plus tax.
$49, not bad.
That's the Lasso Gaucho. Now this other one that just opened up on the heart of Las Olas and these big new trendy skyscrapers is called, I think, Fago de Chao.
That sounds expensive. Yeah.
Fago de Chao.
And I think they probably do some specials midweek or for lunch, but I haven't been in there yet. I walked past it. It seems like it's doing pretty well. And I imagine that their dinner time one is probably in the neighborhood of $65 or $70. But I'm just guessing. I should do the research. I'll do it on the next break. But so these are the hot new trendy places. But again, I'm now trying to limit my calorie consumption. So walking to a place like this is not going to be my friend. And maybe you like me better when I was, overindulge it.
Well, I think the people are looking to you for a certain amount of information and expertise on places, and if you're going to be eating celery sticks for the next month, I'm not sure that the following isn't going to be disappointed here on Let's Eat South Florida.
Well, I think they
And,
might
and
be
then the
counting-
details are excruciating. I mean, just go have a knish already. I mean, love yourself a little bit. You're walking the 3 miles, you're schwitzing, you're walking 5 miles, for God's sake. That's a hell of a hike. I mean, that really is, Mike Mayo.
What is happening here? Dixteen is
Yeah,
my
Defo
better
thinks
angel
I'm
telling
not
me
used to that. I don't care if I lose.
Defo is
I don't
gonna
like
be
the
my
tone of the
dominant-
shows. I like them a lot better. I mean, we were having a great time. You were shoveling food in your face. We were getting a lot of different reviews of places. And now, I mean, how much can we talk about blue cheese and celery? I mean, we just can't.
I went
It's
to
gonna be a
2
rough
restaurants
month.
and had 4 drinks on Friday, and I even consumed a Carvel ice cream sundae yesterday, and it was just for you. And that's still not good enough.
It's for your people. Your people are counting on you, Michael.
It was my daughter,
Yeah.
and my daughter.
We
bet
can do
not
what we
me.
want, but you need to be out there experimenting and experiencing different things. You really do.
Well, I
There's
have
a lot of places.
experienced-
There was a place somebody posted. I forget the name of it. It was on Let's Eat South Florida. It looked great. I mean, and a lot of time the food looks great in pictures, but this didn't look like it was a bluff job. And it was somewhere, I think, in like the downtown Fort Lauderdale area, and it was like a taco sort of oriented place. Did you catch that one, Mike Mayo? You might have
I
even
missed
approved
that
the post
one.
yourself.
I approved
Really
most
looked
of
good.
them.
I mean, and rave reviews. So, and I wish I could remember the name. I don't have my computer up there.
I wish you could
on
too,
Let's Eat South
because
Florida,
I
but-
have no idea which one you're talking about. I know there's a lot of taco places, and some of them are more Americanized. Some of them are for the millennial.
This one looked really good. Yeah,
meat
really did.
market crowd. And some of them are the little authentic places where you kind of still can get your just basic tacos for $2 or $3 a taco without all the frills. But I don't know which one it was. But again, I'm trying to stay away from cheeses. Well, no, I'm not. I'm eating cheese. I'm trying to stay away from. Actually, I could eat Mexican as long as it's like a sizzling fajita platter without all the.
You can eat whatever you want. You just got to balance it out. That's all. I mean, you were going insane there. I mean, with the consumption.
Well, yeah. That was
so I mean, just cutting down to any level of normalcy. I think you're going to be okay with the weight loss.
yeah.
I don't
we'll
know
see
that
if
you
I'm
need
okay
to
with-
get this scientific about it. I mean, all of a sudden you turn into Oprah Winfrey on the freaking show. It's
Oh yeah,
unbelievable.
when we're talking scientific. Okay, so tomorrow I actually have to go and the blood gets drawn for my semi-annual doctor's.
All right. Well, after that,
lecture.
go back to being what you were.
No,
I mean,
but I
what
wanted
you
to give
said.
some more again because I'm turning into a gambling gourmet degenerate mode, and I'm so bored with not eating. I wanted to get some action, like over under on some of these numbers. There's 3 main metrics that the blood is going to be looking at. One is the cholesterol level, the overall cholesterol number.
I'm
Now,
going high on that. high.
You're supposed to be under 200 for the
Oh,
longest
but you're
time.
taking medication, right?
I am on the lowest dosage of the Lipitor to keep the cholesterol. And for the longest time, with that 10 milligrams of Lipitor, I was in the 170 range. You're supposed to be under 200.
Okay.
Last
that's good.
time, because I was on a bender when I went for the blood work, it came in at about 212. Which he was
That's like
talking about.
a good score for Dick Weber if he was in the Tournament of Champions in Akron bowling. But,
So
you don't
what-
have your blood work come out as good bowling scores.
But after 51 sandwiches packed with meats and cheeses, what do you think that cholesterol number is going to be?
I'm gonna go over reduce, make it
So-
200 and a hook.
Let's make
And I'll
it.
go
Let's
over.
make the over under 205, and
Yeah.
I'm going to go over with you because
All right.
I don't think I got any shot. I think the number is going to be pretty grim. I'm going to go. I'm guessing 217. Even with the meds, and he might have to increase the dosage. Which at this stage of the game, is that a defeat?
No. I mean, the fact that you're making it sound like you're in worse shape than the English patient. I'm ready to prescribe morphine for you, but I really, this detail on this diet. I mean, it's really, kind of disturbing. I think
So
There's
let's
people out there that want to go out there and eat and have a good time.
Let's set the number at 210. I'll give you the over. I'll take the under, and we'll see.
I hear no mention of Cafe Seville or Pizza Spot or any of these.
Oh,
places.
yeah.
How are we going to do it? How are we going to get to?
Oh yeah, and speaking of Pizza Spot, they're back today. Thank
Good.
goodness after a
Let's go.
vacation. I'm going to go in there for a nice salad and some meatballs, and no,
Lubie, help me, Lubie, nurse.
pizza Spot will be for the
What
cheat
fun
day.
is that? At least bring Casale or Tasso or
Oh, yeah,
somebody.
we'll go,
I
we'll
mean,
go.
with
We're
you to
gonna go.
have like one of their good pizzas or the chicken parm sandwich. Come on.
on September 23rd, all hell will break loose again, Defo. Don't you worry.
No, don't do that.
I'll be
No?
happy to
That's the
buy you a
purpose of the whole
full
thing.
pizza there. I mean, I don't care if
Oh,
it's
you don't want
you
this
know.
to be a binge? Like, okay, all
No,
right. I
the
can't
point of
purge
this
and
is for
binge.
you to change your life. The point of
Okay,
this is to
okay.
not go crazy either way. That's what Defo is a little doing a Defo, so it's going the other way now. The
Yeah,
reality
he
is,
wants to bring me
No,
down.
I'm just thinking about the show.
how the
I mean, I'm
lights
always
go
thinking about the show.
this show.
All right, so the over under for
That's all right.
cholesterol is 210. So we'll see what happens with that. The other key metric is the A1C. That's the indicator of the diabetes / pre-diabetes. At one point, anything above 6.5 is considered, like anything over 7 is considered diabetic, where you need to start getting medications.
No
At
good.
one point, I came in at 6.8, and he read me
Ooh.
the riot act. Then through weight loss and exercise, I made my way back down to 5.6,
All right,
5.7.
manageable number.
Last time I was there, I was at 6.1. Which is, again, we're getting
a little
once you get
concerned
over the
about that number.
sixes,
Maybe these last few days have helped.
well, I don't think so, because the A1C is a metric that involves the last 90 days of your life. So it's
and
not
you're
just
done.
a little.
You're such
so-
toast on that number that
So we're gonna put the over.
is there an ambulance standing by this doctor that you visit? I mean, do they have one on call like they did, in my mom's place, Century Village? They had them lined up like taxis.
It's
Right?
associated.
Okay,
with,
Joe, bring one up. 401C. Yeah.
He's
Maybe just send
associated
an
with Holy
ambulance up.
Cross Hospital, and the yes, nurses are on standby. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna set the number at 6.2 on the A1C. You're gonna go over. I'm gonna try to go under that.
I don't want to go over on that because it's a dangerous number for sure.
Yeah, well, as long as it's under 6.5, I'm still like.
I'm going to root for you to be
medication zone.
somehow miraculously under. You ever know people that were like 400 pounds and all they did was eat. And then, and you go to the doctor and you're in good shape, man, playing basketball, doing all kinds of stuff, weighing under 200 and running every day. And the guy tells you have high blood pressure, you're borderline diabetic. And, you better, start getting your affairs in order because there's a pretty good chance you don't live another day. And then the 400-pound guy says, oh, yeah, I went to the doctor too. Clean bill of health.
It's all about the
Everything's
genetics.
A lot of genes.
It's all about the
a lot of
genetics.
genes,
and-
Yes, genes.
Yeah, that's
Cholesterol too. That's the thing, is you can eat a lot of cholesterol is you, like
genetics.
from birth.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can have that cholesterol. Now you can still manage that cholesterol. There's things you can do, but
Right,
yes,
right.
a lot of it is your genes. I mean, you
Yes.
can't get away from that.
All right. Well, let's take the final break. You know what we got to talk about is our friends at Visit Lauderdale, and
Yes.
Stacy Ritter was on a cruise. Nikki Mohan's going on a cruise. Everybody's
Yes.
cruising, but I should be cruising to some of the restaurants, and I can eat
Yes.
healthy at the Dine Out Lauderdale restaurants.
There
It's
you go.
ongoing all September long. It's the great promotion that is in conjunction with Lauder Deals, which also is ongoing, where you get the great spa packages and resort stays at some of the great hotels and resorts around town. And of course, the restaurants has Dine Out Lauderdale, where it's the great 3 and 4 course meals for as low as $35 going on at more than 50 participating restaurants all around town. Go check it out at visitlauderdale.com/deals, and you can find places like our friends over at Dune on Fort Lauderdale Beach, where they're taking part, along with downtown on Las Olas Boulevard, Planta Queen, some vegan treats from me, along with the Wild Sea restaurant, the great seafood restaurant at the Riverside Hotel is taking part. They have all kinds of good dishes lined up. And our friends Timon and Marissa at the Catherine restaurant also taking part in Visit Lauderdale as the Dine Out Lauderdale deals. Again, 3 and 4 course meals all month long. Go to visitlauderdale.com/deals to find all the great savings and all the great culinary delights awaiting you in Greater Fort Lauderdale this September. So check it out, and we'll be back, I guess, after these words to wrap up the Tuesday edition of the Lunchbox. For a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo here for Costas Greek Eatery and Pizzeria. If you want to take a trip to the Aegean without getting on a plane and no need for a passport, just go up to 1940 Northeast 49th Street in Pompano Beach, just west of Federal Highway, just a little bit north of Sample Road, and you will be transported to Greece along with a New York-style pizzeria. They do it both so well. They got Greek specialties like gyros and souvlaki and the grape leaves and the spinach pie, and also great New York thin, crisp New York-style Greek pizza with pepperoni. Don't miss that one. And of course, spinach and gorgonzola. Costa is a great guy. He'll smash a plate, say Opa, and greet and treat you like family. Go to Costas. It's open every day for lunch and dinner. Tell him the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo sent you. Are we back or we got more? Pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style. A pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. And we're back on the Lunchbox on a Tuesday, and I guess today is a Tropical Acres Tuesday. Costas will be presenting sponsor tomorrow. We're all jumbled with the holiday, and that's all good. Even Keel, our friends, we replayed their Even Keel Wednesday edition yesterday, and that was also the Las Spadas orgy of sandwiches. And, still recovering from that. Are you guys still munching on those leftovers? Because you didn't leave any for me.
I finished yesterday.
Good.
I finally
Yeah,
finished.
Lubie took yours. He took 2 rows of those sandwiches.
That's
and,
fine. That is fine.
I enjoyed every bite of them. I tell you what, one thing about Las Spadas, I don't know if it's true of all subs, but as great as they are when you have them, and fresh obviously is the best way to do them. I mean, they hold up extremely well over a couple of days in the fridge, and in some ways even become tastier, which is kind of weird.
But the bread, not so much. The bread kind of just turns into
wasn't a disaster though that you would like to.
Well,
make
I guess
it.
you just kind of go with the flow and eat the bread in whatever condition it's in, or do you get new buns and just take the fillings, the interior, and place them in a fresh loaf of bread or bun?
Throw it in the toaster oven if you're really upset about the the soggy bread.
See, I wouldn't know because you guys took it all, but that's okay because I am in.
You had enough there, though. I mean, you ate the whole row of sandwiches that they put out for you.
Oh, I did a number. I did a number, and I got up to that number. It was 238, and now we're working our way back down the slopes. So, I see that Tom Tanazzini is on the chat line, and if I do have a regret about my newfound,
boy, Tommy's been serving it up there at Tom's Louisiana Kitchen. My God,
yeah, those pictures.
Man's on
that
fire.
Crab spaghetti. Oh my God. I mean, I think he's. I guess he's open and serving on Mondays at the Nobo Brewery. Every fiber of my being, of my self-discipline, is basically going to withhold me. Oh, actually, it's not Monday; it's Tuesday already. Thank God, because I would love to just run up there and get a plate of that crab spaghetti and just ditch the diet because that looks so good. But alas, I'm not going to do it.
You've just become a non-entity. I mean, with this new approach, you need to snap out of this, Mayo. Come on.
Oh man,
How are we
But
gonna
you know
how are we gonna
what?
carry on, man? I mean, you have 88,000 subscribers. They're counting on you to come up with all kinds of culinary ideas, and you're talking about carrot chips and celery stalks.
I know maybe it's not the most riveting way, but we'll have some riveting radio.
You have
We'll
to be
some
able to work
guests.
it out.
We're
so
gonna
you can
do
both.
remotes. We're
Yeah.
gonna have a fun month. September is gonna be a
'Cause
fun month, even though it's kind of like
I
down
can't
to
hear about this
business.
diet. It's crazy.
Oh,
It
makes
really
me-
is.
All
Well,
right,
I'll
I'll
figure out a way to manage the diet and still have him eat fun things.
have an
Something,
entertaining.
yeah,
All right,
you gotta-
you
we'll
have to
we'll
try
figure out the
something.
right balance.
gotta
All right,
be
maybe
a-
I'll just gamble more heavily, and we'll just turn this into the gambling gourmet hour every day in September.
Whatever we need to do.
I'm running
Keep
out
it
of funds,
entertaining.
so it's a
Yeah.
bad August. All right, that's going to do it for today. Thanks to Defo and Lubie and Dickstein for keeping me on the right path. We will be back tomorrow with more fun and food. Until next time, this is Mike Mayo saying thank you, and remember to enjoy every sandwich and